Hey Corey, not only are they cleaning up from the wet, heavy snow here in Camp Ellis this morning, but take a look behind me. They're cleaning up what the high tide brought in about 3:30 this morning. That is seawater which has flowed again into Camp Ellis. This is now the 10th time, at least that, since Friday that we've seen flooding and a high tide in this part of Camp Ellis. And what they're doing here is clearing out a storm drain. Hopefully that water can start to flow out and go out the right way. But the wind is really starting to pick up here. It's now gusting 40 miles per hour occasionally, and that's going to continue to pile the water up for the next few hours, even though high tide passed. That occurred at 3:30 this morning. So there are multiple problems here. Not only has the water come in, but it's also rearranged the sand. So North Avenue remains closed, and we are on Riverside Avenue, which is appropriately named considering how much water here is on the roadway, about 1 to 2 feet at its deepest. So the main part of Camp Ellis remains cut off at this point while this water is here, and it will probably remain that way for the next few hours.
You've been out there for the last 4 or 5 days, Ryan, and every single tide continues to flood the beaches. Unbelievable.
Yeah, Todd, and now that the morning high tide has started to go back out, we can actually show you some of the damage. It's really one way in and one way out of Camp Ellis, and this is the way out. And now this road has been completely torn apart. Just 2 or 3 hours ago, waves were splashing up over the seawall here, and that's why snow is just finally starting to accumulate here. So now that this nor'easter is gone, maybe we can start to pick up the pieces of this road, but it may have to wait until after the season ends because, as you just discussed, there's a chance for another nor'easter perhaps early next week. This morning's high tide did again flood Camp Ellis, some of the susceptible areas, but it seemed to be much better than some of the high tides we saw on Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Part of that is that crews here have kind of mitigated the effects by channeling the water in one direction, but the surf is still rough here. It is an angry morning on the ocean, and we expect still some minor splashover coming up during the afternoon high tide as well. That's the latest for now from Camp Ellis. I'm going to send things up to Clay Gordon to talk about some of the road conditions. Hi, Clay.